Hello, welcome to another episode of Workspace Admins. Today we are going to take a look at the Drive inventory reporting, which is a feature that allows you to, or allows Google to periodically export the some information about your Google Drive files to Google's BigQuery. So it is available to enterprise standard and plus customers. So if you don't have that, continue to watch along, and we'll show you how to do this using GAM and using BigQuery command line interface. So we'll first take a look at the admin console setting here. So what you will want to do is go to, actually not reporting, you will want to go to actually reporting data integrations, and you'll want to visit BigQuery export first. So we already have a Workspace admins Workspace logs GCP project created, and we have already a data set within that project called service_log. And Drive inventory export has not yet been enabled. So I'm just going to check this and use the same project ID. Go here and grab this here. And I already have a data set that's been created, which is called drive_inventory. And I'm going to go ahead and save that. So Google does tell you that it may take some time before the data starts to show up. So I'm just going to leave it alone for the time being. So I'll share this spreadsheet in the description of the video, but I have a few basic GAM commands for you to list all the files in the Google Drive, list all the shared drives, and list all the shared drive ACLs. In order for you to be able to list all the files in a shared drive, you need to impersonate a user who has access to the shared drive. So what I like to generally do is add a service account of some sort to all the shared drives. So this is one example command you can try running, but obviously you may be in certain organizations where adding a service account to a shared drive may not be possible. So that's something for you to consider before making any changes to your Google Drive environment. So I'm just going to go ahead and start deleting some of these sheets here. And similar to how we did this in the past video, I'm just going to copy and paste the pre-created GAM commands. So what this will do is that it'll iterate through all the users in the Google Admin Console. So I want to make sure that I am using all users, thus suspended and suspended, to make sure that I'm accounting for all the users as long as they have the Google Drive enabled. So I'm listing all their files, and I'm going through some of the fields that's of interest to me, which is ID of the file, name, type of the file, size, when it was created, when it was last modified. So one thing that Google doesn't have in the Drive inventory report is the path of the file. So that's something you will need to continue using GAM for. So it looks like Google Sheet is created. I'm just going to auto adjust the column width here. So I can see that there are some files that I own, followed by other colleagues in our domain. And I'm just going to go ahead and refresh this page here just to see if Google's made any changes to Drive inventory. Looks like the table is not there yet, so it'll take some time. So it was last modified 7/15, so you can see that Google's starting to make some changes to the table or to the data set. So I'm just going to run through another command here. So I'll just go through all the shared drives. So now I should have a list of all the shared drives. as you saw. So there are some columns such as restrictions and some of the capabilities. So you may want to drop some of these columns if it's not important to you, using other CSV output row filtering or filtering capable filtering that is available in the API itself. And lastly, I'm going to get the list of all the shared drive ACLs or access control lists. So we have 8 shared drives, and different people have access to different shared drives, as you can see here. So moving on to the next step is I'm just going to regenerate the list of files in my drive for all the users as a local file. And I'm just going to switch over to Cloud Shell editor so the file is easier to see. So I'll open home directory here. And I can go to my drive file list, and you can see the same information that we have. And we have 204 lines, meaning that there are 23 files. And I'll just verify that here. So 203 or 204 lines as well. And the other thing now we can do is that now my drive file list file has been generated. We first need to replace the header row because BigQuery currently doesn't like the having a period in the column header. So we are just going to replace that with a underscore. And as you can see, that's now changed. And now I'm going to create a new table. Before that, let's go back to BigQuery. Oops. I'll just open a new tab. And drive inventory looks like it's still being updated. And I have a table already that I loaded earlier. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this table. And the syntax is relatively simple. So you just need to call bqload, auto-detect the schema based on the CSV file that we are providing. And then you just need to specify the GCP project ID, dataset ID, followed by the name of the table that you want to create, and then reference the local file that you have. So I'm going to switch over to Cloud Shell. So you may need to shellcloud config set project and select the right project if you don't already have it set. And I'm just going to run this command here. So the replacing the header row currently is required if you have a period, but Google does have a form to use flexible column name during BigQuery load jobs. So I'll also provide a link to the Google form as well to get your project allowlisted. I don't entirely know if that's still strictly necessary, but I was getting an error before. So here, I'm just going to go to data integrate, go back to BigQuery, refresh this page here, and I have another data set within the same project called GAM. So if we examine this file list here, click on details or preview. So this is how you can see the same information in BigQuery. So once the Google Drive inventory table is created, you will be able to see very similar information to what you have been able to upload from BigQuery. So you can continue using GAM with bqload to upload any CSVs that you might be creating. Or I like to do less work as much as possible, or do as little work as possible. So if you can have Google create these tables for you automatically, then I would recommend using the Drive inventory feature to have Google upload the data as soon as it becomes available. So thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Or if you rather communicate by email, feel free to reach out at team@workspaceadmins.org. Thanks.